good. Thank you very much. I love you too. USA, USA, USA. So good, so good. Thank you very much for being here. This is an amazing crowd. And we have thousands of people outside trying to get in. The fire marshal was very nice to us. We're stacked right into the corners. So I thank the fire marshal, but about 3,000 people. They're going home. That's bad. Does anybody want to give up their place to the people outside? Is there one person in this whole room? Raise your hand, please. No one. Okay, that's good. That means we want to be here, right? So we have had an amazing period of time. You know, I started this whole journey on June 16th, and from practically the time I began till now, we've been in number one position. Can you believe that? Amazing. And a couple of days ago, CNN came out with the latest poll where we're 49 for Trump. Rubio is 16, but after last night's... Little Marco. Do you know that in Florida, they hate little Marco Rubio so much? It's true. Because of the fact that he never votes. He never shows up to vote. So when you think, I mean, actually, if you use, I'll use a word that he uses, he has conned the people of Florida into voting for him. And I'll tell you what, they are angry because he never shows. He has the worst voting record in all of Florida. He has the worst voting record in the United States Senate and one of the worst voting records in the history of the United States Senate. I don't think he's going to do too well. They are angry at him. He couldn't be elected dog catcher. So last night he had a very, very bad night. According to the various polls, he lost the debate badly. But he's at 16, so he's going to go down. So it's Trump at 49. Little Marco Rubio at 16. Cruz, Lion Ted Cruz, Lion Ted. You know, it's amazing. No matter what you say with Ted, he'll change it. He'll do whatever he has to do. You call up, oh, I didn't know I did that. So it's Ted. Remember what he did to Dr. Carson, to Ben Carson? He said, oh, no, he's quit the race. He's out of the race. Vote for me. Thousands of people. So Carson was a good guy. So Cruz is at 15. And Kasich is only at 6. I don't know. That sounds low. And we just signed on, Jeff Sessions he's really one of the greats in terms of law and order, in terms of border, in terms of judicial. But Jeff Sessions just came on. And actually, he's a very good friend of Cruz, and Cruz could not believe that it happened. But Senator Jeff Sessions, highly respected, great guy. And another one in terms of the border, Sheriff Joe, right? Sheriff Joe. So we're doing really well, and it's been amazing. And we're going to talk about today trade. We're going to talk about borders. We're going to have a lot of fun, even though it's fun, it's sort of interesting. We're going to talk about cars. We're going to talk about cars. Don't worry, folks. We're going to be building the wall. We're going to build the wall. Are you ready? And who is going to pay for the wall? Who? You better believe it. Did you see where the former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, he said, we will not pay for that F wall. Now, could you imagine if I said it, and he said it, he threw out the F-bomb, and I'm just saying to myself, if I said it, I probably wouldn't be here today, right? This guy used the F-bomb in a major interview with CNN or somebody. And I want to tell you, that was shocking and a disgrace. And I think he should apologize to the people of Mexico and to the people of the United States. We are calling on him to apologize. And he said he will not pay for the wall. So we've come a long way because he actually said, I will not. It's interesting when he says, I will not, right? He doesn't say Mexico will not. He says, I. So he thinks a lot of himself. But he said, I will not, meaning Mexico will not pay for the F wall. And I thought it was a horrible thing. And what's interesting is that at least now he knows the wall is going up. He didn't say we're not going to allow a wall. In other words, we've come a long way. He now said he's not going to pay for the wall. Before he used to say, we will not allow a wall. Now he says we won't pay for the wall. He will pay for the wall, folks, okay? He will pay for it. And you know what happened when the press called up and they told me about it? They said, well, do you have a response? I said, the wall just got 10 feet higher. You know that. 10 feet higher. We don't play games. We're not playing games. We're not playing games. We are not going to play games. There's no games with us. You know, the thing that bothered me about ex-President Fox is the arrogance, the way, you know, it wasn't so much the wall. It wasn't that we're not going to pay and they're not going to pay for the wall, what he said. It was he couldn't believe that the United States would actually be asking them for something. The arrogance. He couldn't believe, how dare you ask us, the hatred and the arrogance of this guy, because they're used to getting their way 100%. They're not going to get their way anymore, folks. They're not getting their way anymore. They're not getting their way. And speaking of that, I'm not going to go through the whole thing with the escalator ride. You've all heard it. Let me tell you, I'm going to go right to the car business. Do you mind? Because this is car country, rapidly becoming not car country, but we're going to keep it car country, okay? So, about a year and a half ago, I heard that Ford, anybody work for Ford here? Good company, smart company. But I heard that Ford is going to build a plant in Mexico, $2.5 billion. And I have to tell you, you know, for a one-story building, that's got to be about the most expensive plant I've ever heard of. Is that a correct statement? You guys are in the car business. It has to be one of the most expensive. So they're going to build it in Mexico. They're going to make cars, trucks, and parts. And they're going to sell them all over, but they're going to sell a lot of them right into the United States. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. Don't worry. I'm with you, folks. I'm with you. And by the way, this is the reason I'm leading by a lot in Michigan, because everyone knows all I talk about is cars. I have friends in other industries. They say, all you talk about is cars. Will you start talking about us? I said, no, I like cars. I like cars. But I do. I devote a lot of time because Mexico is becoming the car capital of the world, whether you like it or not. Sure. And we're going to turn that around. You know, in Tennessee, a great state that I won, by the way, by a tremendous... You know, when I won, of course, I've won most of them in all fairness. So far, I like it. But when I win them, I feel like a warm spot. Now, March 8th, Tuesday, you got to do me one favor. You know, I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm self-funding. You got to get out and vote. Because I promise you'll be very happy. Oh, you will be happy with me. You more than most. Michigan, I tell you what, Michigan more than most. Because what's happened to you people is disgraceful. And Michigan more than most. You got to get out. I'm going to say it again later, but March 8th, Tuesday. No matter what's happening, no matter what you're doing, if you get laid off on Tuesday, I still want you voting. I'll get you a new job. Don't worry about it. In a couple of years, you'll go home to your wife or you'll go home to your husband and say, darling, I have so many job opportunities. I'm going absolutely crazy. I don't know what's happening. As opposed to now. Now you get laid off, you don't know what's happening. So we're gonna take care of it. But Tuesday, you have to go out. You know, so I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm putting up my own money. So I'm not controlled by the unions. I'm not controlled by anything. I'm controlled only. And you know what? You have a representative union. I have to say this. You have a representative union. Who here is in a union? Okay. You like your unions? You like them? Uh-oh. I said, you like your union? Nah. I don't know about that, huh? Well, anyway. But you do love your industry, right? The industry is the thing. All right. So I don't want your money, but I do want your vote. So on Tuesday, you go and vote, okay? And we're going to get this thing going. So Tennessee was going to get a massive car plant, and it was going to be, they were going to manufacture a tremendous plant. And look, we want it within the United States, okay? I mean, we want it in Michigan, but we wanted it within the United States as our second choice in this room, all right? We don't want it going to Mexico. We don't want them going to lots of other places. We want to stop the cars from Japan. If Japan wants to send, you know, I was in Los Angeles, folks. I have never seen more cars pour in. I have never seen larger ships. These ships are massive. And they pull up, and these cars just roll right off the ship, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. You know, we got NASCAR the other day. NASCAR endorsed us. And you have to say, that's a hell of an endorsement, right? That's like getting the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL endorsed Donald Trump. Or ladies and gentlemen, Major League Baseball endorsed Donald Trump. Think of it. Think of it. NASCAR endorsed us with many of their drivers, and Brian France, who's the head of NASCAR and an unbelievable guy, the great job he's done. And they just said there's a movement, and the people that are NASCAR fans are Trump fans, and there's a tremendous movement. But when I'm thinking about these ships, so these ships pull into Los Angeles, biggest I've ever seen. They pull into the Los Angeles docks, and I stood there, and I thought of NASCAR, because those cars were coming off that ship so fast, so many of them. And I'm saying, how is that helping us really, right? I want those cars made in Michigan. I want those cars made here, right? Right? And you know what? The Japanese can do them. The Japanese can do them, but let them make them here. They have so many cars. You know, they give us these little spots. Okay, we'll build a little plant there. We'll build a little one there. We'll keep the Americans happy. We'll build one here. They have stupid leadership. Let's keep them happy. We'll build one here. But when you see those ships fall in, any cars that you see, that's peanuts compared to what we're doing. You have to see. These cars were coming off those ships at like 50 miles an hour. I've never seen anything like it. So, folks, we want them to build the cars here. You know, when China ordered some Boeings, and China's a tremendous abuser of our country. And I love China. They're great. Their leaders are too smart for our leaders. It's very simple, okay? And I have the smartest businessmen in the world. We have the smartest business people in the world in this country. And right now, what you have right now? You have political hacks negotiating the biggest deals. You know, no matter what business deal you do, like I'm a big businessman. I have tremendous business. You know, it's funny. They keep talking about my little deals. They talk about water, which I still have. They talk about a magazine, which I still have. You know, I have magazines for my clubs. They talk about little deals. They don't talk about the buildings that are 60, 70 stores all over the place. I'm building buildings all over. We're doing deals. Nobody talks about that. Why don't they? I mean, Forbes just came out and they said I'm worth $4.5 or $5 billion, and they have no idea. Actually, they have no idea. It's much more than that, but I won't tell them. But they don't want to talk about the big deals. They don't want to talk about Trump World Tower. They don't want to talk about Trump Tower. They don't want to talk about 40 Wall Street. They don't want to talk about the Bank of America building in San Francisco. They don't want to talk about the city I built on the west side of Manhattan. They don't want to talk about 1290 Avenue of the Americas. They only want to talk about a steak. Oh, you got a little company, little tiny thing. Or Trump University, which, by the way, I'll win that lawsuit so easy. I'll win that lawsuit so easy. And, you know, it's sort of interesting with Trump University. Small deal, but, you know, a deal that they devoted a lot of time to. And, frankly, many of the people that took the courses, many of the people they signed report cards when they were completed. And it got rave reviews. Everybody, good. Then a law firm comes along and says, listen, if we sue, so they form a class action. If we sue, we'll get your money back. So let's say you took the course and you liked it. And then somebody comes, hey, you liked your course, it's over, we'll get your money back. You'll say, oh.